I had this big pile of cardboard boxes and other odds and ends. I had, it was stuff I didn't actually clean the tape off of or the plastics, and so there's still some in there. I mean, I had it all just piled out here, and today it's a nice enough day. It's 38 degrees. I hadn't been out here in a while because I hadn't been feeling exactly well enough to get out in the cold weather. But I figured I'd come out here and just clean this up because it was not looking good in the yard here. So I was working on, getting the cardboard up. I got a cardboard box here that I'm putting stuff in, but just taking a lot of it and just put it in the cardboard box. So one thing I've noticed is a lot of this has mold growing on it and everything, which is really good. But as I got up underneath a lot of this, I realized there was mushrooms, mold, earthworms, all kinds of little critters in here. And, a few little odds and end live things too, but I just pitched those to the side. And if you look at this, look at, this is all, pretty much every bit of that dirt you're seeing in here is composted materials. The earthworms that were in here, I've already, I moved some of them over to my other compost pile. Others went down deep because they want to be warm. They don't want to sit out here and freeze. But as I was, doing this, I realized this is really good. It feels good. I mean, of course it's cold out here, but when I put my hands into this, I don't know if you can see it, but when I put my hands into all that, it's warmer in there. So I'm just going to collect all this the best I can, and I'm going to move it over to my big compost pile. There's a wild onion. But any of the tape or plastic or stuff like that was in here along with this stuff, I'm just setting to the side, and I want to be able to have all this good cardboard and dirt and everything all together in my other nice good compost pile. And this coming, well, I'd say maybe 2 months from now, I'll be going through that compost pile and kind of sifting through it, and then just letting, because see, that's tape right there. Oh, there's some earthworms. Look at them. Can you see them? There's 1, 2, 3. I think I dropped one. 4. There's several of them just right in here. So the earthworms, even though it's in the middle of the winter time, the earthworms are still active. They're still actively doing stuff in here. Compost piles tend to want to stay active, and the worms and the bacteria and the fungus and everything, they all work together, and you end up with a bunch of so there's a earthworm right here. But even though it's cold, they're still active. They're still doing stuff. So I'm going to take all of this and I'm going to put it over on my big compost pile and just let it do its thing over there. And I just been putting it in this cardboard box and then carrying it over there in the cardboard boxes. I'm not packing it real full. It's not real heavy. So I'm making several trips over. And so like this, a lot of this cardboard is just soaking wet. And it's good. Cardboard is wonderful for gardens. Really, really wonderful. Look at that big piece of plastic. It came off some box. Look at that. See that big earthworm right there? He was up under that plastic. Go ahead and put all that in the box. the best I can. I don't want any of my good dirt to go to waste because I'm trying to get rid of plastic or something. But I don't want the plastic in my compost either. So all this cardboard that was underneath that plastic, of course I'm peeling off some of the tape that was on it. It's decomposing and yeah. Maybe next time I'll do a better job with getting the plastic out. But I was in a hurry when I piled all this up, and I had other things I wanted to do. And yeah, but you know, I know how it goes. What'll compost will compost, and what won't compost, I'll just end up collecting anyway and throwing it away. You know, just do it after the fact, not not before I throw it in the compost pile. But once I get this little spot cleaned up in the yard right here in this area, look at that, really good compost dirt. But this part of the yard will look better. And of course, this is an area over here where I want to be doing some gardens this spring. But in order to make everything look nice, so I can clean it up a little bit better later, I figured I'd just go ahead and start moving all this over to the other big compost pile and just let it sit over there for a few months and let it do its thing there. And I checked the temperature right before I turned on the camera, and it's 38 degrees out here. This morning it was like about 28 degrees. So a lot of this, you know, is getting cold. But when I first started digging into this, it was warm underneath all this, really nice and warm. And that's why these little earthworms survive. They live in there. It's warm enough, they don't freeze, and they survive. That's one good thing about cardboard in your compost. Really helps create a good environment for all the little worms and bacteria that like a little bit warmer environment to be in. Get that in there. I think what I'm going to end up doing, oh, look at that. There's a big worm. See, they're still living in it, even though it's been cold. Of course, you never know what you're going to find. You may find where other things are living up under here too. You find little tunnels, you know, maybe moles or mice or, you know, whatever. But, you know, they take advantage of the warmth of the compost, just like all the other little things do. Whew, my hands are cold. My hands are cold, but look at that, the little worm's still living. Oh my gosh. My ears and my hands are freezing, and I'm finding worms in here that are perfectly fine. It's weird how that works, isn't it? All right. I'm gonna move the camera back a little bit so you can see a little bit more of what I've been working with here. And see, if you remember the red buckets, that's that pile of stuff that was there. And then back there, that's my big compost pile, and that's where I'm moving this stuff to. And I'm slowly collecting things from around the yard to add to my compost. And it always grows. It grows and grows and grows. I'll go back here and show you what I've already put on it today. And if you've watched any of my other videos, you'll see a big difference in today's video. You remember I put a coat of cardboard all around it to help keep it warm, and I've been piling more stuff on it. Just odds and ends all in there. Excuse me. I just keep adding to it and keep adding to it. And with a coat of cardboard around it, yeah, the cardboard gets wet. And, you know, but it tends to dry again and just kind of molds itself to it, to the shape of the compost. And underneath all that's still composting, and it's created a nice warmer environment. And I just keep adding to it and adding to it. And whenever it's time for me to get compost out for the gardens, then I'll just take all this top layer off, set it to the side, and, you know, create a whole new pile, and then take what's deep down inside of this and get it out and move it to my raised beds. And hopefully a couple of months from now, it'll be warm enough out here for me to plant some plants. I don't know, it might be. All right, I'm gonna go ahead and stop the video here, and I'll talk to you later.